So there's some weird sounds out here in my garage tonight. I was kind of freaked out a little bit there. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage, live in the garage, which doesn't always happen. G Money here with you, Gerald here with you. Let's see who's in the house tonight. I'm going to get to your comments tonight. Really, the floor is open. Talk about anything you guys want to talk about. It doesn't really matter to me. I want to talk a little bit about Knock at the Cabin, the new M. Night Shyamalan. Obviously, I want to talk the Golden Peas. I'm trying to promote the event, which is about a month away now, a little over a month away. I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to get to your comments. If you guys have questions, throw them at me. I'm out here in the garage. I'm freezing. I need to check the weather. I think the temperature today was like the high was like 38. It's cold, but I'm doing what I can. Who is here tonight? Let's see. Looky there. Patrick Sherwood. My guy, what's up, Patrick? Is in the house. Yes, he is in the house, as is Drew Hallam, Mr. Real Feels. Chris Yaney, I can always count on you, brother. Welcome to the stream. Means a lot to me. Oh, God. How long did I know before something like this would show up? Dan Roski, you're breaking my heart. Is that real? You weren't really pulling for Duke, right? You're only saying that because I'm in my Tar Heels gear. That was a heartbreaker, guys. I don't know if anybody's a college basketball fan, but Duke Carolina is probably the best rivalry in all of sports. It's definitely the best rivalry in college basketball. I got my Ramses plaque right here. You see it? That was left to me by my late grandfather. He's had that since he was like a teenager, and he left it to me. Obviously, I got the gear on. I have the Follow Me to Blue Heaven bumper sticker here, which is also my grandparents. I'm a huge Tar Heel fan, and Dan Rossi's coming in here with that Go Duke. So I'm going to take that off the stream there. Drew's throwing up questions. I love it. Let me think about that one. Hello, Jared Taylor, patron of the show. So Drew Hallam says, by the way, guys, this is basically 30 minutes-ish to an hour, depending on how it goes, how many people tune in. Ask me anything you want. Saturday night, I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm like having a few beers. I want to promote the Golden Peas. I want to see what you guys have to say about movies, what you're doing this weekend, what you're drinking. Throw up in the chat what you're drinking, by the way. It's Saturday night. On the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. So my West Coasters is 7 p.m. What are you guys drinking? I have hang on. So this is local here in North Carolina, Wise Man Brewery, which is in the camera, get in on it there. Is in, I need to cover my face up. There you go. It's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's called Shapeshifter. It's a cinnamon dulce blonde ale, which is freaking delicious. It's really good. The cinnamon's kind of faint, though. It's not like a heavy cinnamon flavor, but it's really good. So Drew says, what would you consider to be the perfect date night horror movie? Ironically, Drew, the last date night I went on personally with my wife was Barbarian. We went on date night about 6 months ago, and we saw Barbarian. We went to dinner. I can't remember if we went to dinner first or after. I didn't get milk after seeing Barbarian. Perfect date night horror movie. Barbarian was a good one. I think you want to get a movie where you're like grabbing onto the person you're with, right? Because you're so scared. I think Barbarian is a good one. I think maybe all-timer. Date night horror movie, like an all-timer would probably be, because you don't want to be too gory either, right? Like you don't want to scare them away with like all the blood and gore. You want maybe like atmospheric, maybe like suspenseful. Actually, we're going to talk about Knock at the Cabin here in a second. That actually would be a good one. But maybe any Shyamalan, like The Sixth Sense, Signs, where it's atmospheric. It's kind of like creepy, but it's not like gross you out horror. So Shyamalan, it's kind of going to be my theme tonight. But Barbarian was also a good one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Oh, God. Dan Roski again. I love that. Thank you, Dan. I was worried for a second there. Horror movies are romantic. They can be. I mean, just look at Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, they knew what they were doing there. Winona Ryder, come on, man, that was good. Yanni's wife is telling him to shut up. All right, you can type in the chat, Yanni. You don't have to verbally. You don't have to audibly give me the answers. I had a punch bowl 12 hours ago. You guys are the best. I'm looking through these. 2 tickets to see Fear with Mark Wahlberg. What's Fear? Help me out here. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Knock at the Cabin, guys, real quick. Just a brief. I don't know if you guys saw my YouTube review. I'm going to come back to your comments, so please keep commenting in the chat. I'll get to those. Knock at the Cabin. Okay, let me show you something real quick. I'm going to share my screen here. So I'm going to bring this in. I think it's going to auto play, but Universal Studios sent me a DM, which was so cool the other day. I put up a YouTube review on Thursday, I think. And they hit me up. They said, hey, we really appreciate your review. Can we use your quote? We're doing a social media campaign. We're putting some quotes together. I said, yeah, absolutely. I really dug the movie. So they used my quote. I'm going to play it for you. It was a big deal for me. People, I mean, I know you guys are probably like, whatever, but let's see here. Let me see if I can get it to play here. See if you guys can hear it.
Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision.
That's my quote.
If you fail to choose, the world will end.
How about that? So look, guys, I'm not saying I'm a big deal, but I'm a big deal. I'm kidding. I really enjoyed Knock at the Cabin. I think, especially the first quarter of the year when movies are kind of like, there's like a lull before we get to like the spring with a lot of like releases and stuff. M. Night Shyamalan, that when I hear that name, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to be like heartbroken, disappointed. I don't know if I'm going to walk away like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've seen in years. It could literally be either end of the spectrum. And so few filmmakers kind of have that. But I think that brings something to the conversation. I'm curious. I know it just came out wide today. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but even if you haven't seen it, are you excited for it? Like, how do you feel about it? Because I know M. Night Shyamalan, especially for like horror fans and fans of like thrillers, you don't know. You're just like, oh, do I trust this guy again? He's broken my heart, X number of times. I was not a huge fan of Old. I haven't really liked a movie that this guy's done in probably 15 years. But every time he does a movie, I'm tuning in. Like, I want to see it. I'm going to the theater. I'm streaming it, whatever. Knock at the Cabin was really good. It was a really good movie that was not really like a lot of the Shyamalan stuff that we've gotten in the past. It wasn't like a ton of plot twist. It wasn't like a mind bender. It was a pretty straightforward thriller with a lot of strong characters that you were able to connect to. I won't give away any spoilers tonight. Don't worry. But I'll just say that it was a bit of a detachment from the rest of his catalog. Are you guys excited to see Knock at the Cabin? I'm curious what you think about that. Drew had to dip, I think, but he says he loves us. Drew, we love you. Patrick says the Texas Chainsaw Massacre could be the perfect date night movie for cannibals, which is true. There's actually a lot of those this year too. No, directed by Deion Taylor with T.I. You're not a fan of Batista? Batista did really good in this movie, Patrick. He I don't know. It's like people do The Rock versus Batista versus John Cena, kind of like this film thing. I thought he did really good in this movie. Prior to this film, I don't know that I would say like, oh God, I love Dave Batista. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, a big name there. But he's done some little stuff here and there. But in this movie, I felt like he really stretched his range a little bit. Like we got a little bit more from him in the dramatic arc. And, he was the antagonist in the film, which was interesting because like he did have a nice balance of like connecting to him and kind of like the sympathy part. And then also you were kind of like, well, he's the villain of the story. So it was a nice balance. He did a great job. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying there, but I thought he did a really good job in this movie. I mean, if I had to pick right this second, like a wrestler turned actor, I think The Rock has got the resume, honestly. But, Dave Bautista did really well here, I thought. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate it. I had one for Violent Night too, a few months ago, which was really cool. And honestly, I felt like that was a 1 in a million thing. And then they did that for Knock at the Cabin, which I actually liked a little bit more than I initially liked Violent Night. So it was pretty special to me to get that shout out from Universal there. So that was cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm with you, Patrick. I was not a fan of Old. I really wasn't. I thought it was just awkward. It was awkward to a point where it was like, I can't really, you've lost me, So I tend to agree with you there. Knock at the Cabin is much, much better. Let's see. I've been burned too many times by M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong to get excited for a new film of his. That is a fair argument. Jared, tell me down in the chat, do you think you're going to see Knock at the Cabin? Do you have any interest in giving him another shot? Because I agree with you. I really agree with you that it's like, how many times am I going to let this guy do this to me? But what I always do to kind of give myself solace and kind of what I've always kind of come back to is, what he did for me before those valleys, like the peaks. Like, I mean, the guy, let me just tell you something. I'll just tell you guys a quick story. I watched The Sixth Sense with my son last night. Obviously, he's never seen it. He's 9 years old. I said, let's do The Sixth Sense. Shyamalan's on my mind right now. I kind of want to see, I want to revisit this movie. Me and my son are both in tears during this film with the performances, Haley Joel Osment, Toni Collette, Bruce Willis even. It's an emotional ride in The Sixth Sense. Obviously, we know the plot twist, one of the greatest of all time in all of movie history, in my opinion. And those emotions that he solicited from the audience, that's what I'm talking about. Like, my son saw that. So as somebody that wants to get into film, which he does, and he's very interested in movies because of me and whatever. And his mom loves theater, so he's just into performing. He's going to remember that, much like I did, when I saw it. Of course, I was much older. I wasn't 9 years old when I saw it, but Shyamalan just has this thing, this little extraordinary thing that he's able to tap into something up here with his storytelling visually. And I feel like he really brought it back with Knock at the Cabin, which is ironic because it's not a typical Shyamalan story. It's different. I mean, I know it's based on a book and all that, but just the way visually the story is told is a little bit different. So Jared and anyone else that's reluctant, I would just tell you, I'm not going to, twist your arm, but at the same time, I was in the exact same boat and I felt the same way. And I was so glad that I gave it a shot. I'll just put it that way. Finally, I didn't leave deflated. I'll just say that about Knock at the Cabin. And you saw my quote there, full of tension, full of heart, and timely commentary. I agree with that. That's my quote. So obviously I agree with that. But I say check it out. If you want to be pleased by Shyamalan again, give it a shot. Knock at the Cabin. I think I gave it an 83 out of 100, so essentially an 8.3 out of 10. Very high recommend from me. Let's see. Dan Roski, top tier patron, my guy. He watched Amsterdam on the flight the other day. That's my horror vote. Although seeing Taydolf Swiftler get her head run over was hilarious. Bro, spoilers. I haven't seen Amsterdam yet. I love Taylor, as you know, Tay Tay Swifty. That comment is riddled with spoilers, but I haven't seen Amsterdam. Amsterdam was just hated, and apparently by you as well. I don't know the Rotten Tomato score on Amsterdam, but it's not good. I heard it was not a good picture, which is a shame because it's David O. Russell. He does good stuff. Christian Bale is always killing it. Taylor. So I don't know. That was sad to hear that. Let's see. Yeah, guys. By the way, before I read this, throw up. I'm definitely not gonna go past an hour tonight. Maybe 30 minutes or so. Throw up some questions. So AMA, ask me anything. I want to promote the Golden Peas a little bit tonight. We're going to get into that. This might be a good segue, actually. My buddy Chris Yaney. So let's see what he says here. He says, of the Golden Pea nominees, which have you seen multiple times, if any? If none, what will you watch next? Obviously, I've seen them all. Multiple times. I've seen probably the most. Let me pull that up here because I feel like you're putting me on the spot here. Let me go back through my slideshow. So let me go to the end. I think I had them all at the end here of the slideshow. And then I'll answer your question. Yeah, here we go. So let's see. All right, so these are the 10 that are nominated for Best Picture, by the way, Golden Peas. Let me do this real quick because I don't have Dan with me tonight to do this. Let's see. I'm going to put it in the chat real quick. See if that pops up there. That's the link to vote, by the way, to see the ballot, see all the categories. Make sure you guys visit that. I put it in the chat, but I think it might be showing up on YouTube. But it's just 2peasonapod.com/golden peas. So of these 10 that we're looking at for best movie, Yaney, the one I've seen the most is X. I've seen X about 4 times. I've seen Everything Everywhere like 3 times. I've seen Prey a couple. So I've seen X and Everything Everywhere, and then I've seen a few of them like a couple times. So every movie on here I've seen at least twice, though, which is weird, except for RRR. I saw RRR the one time. That's 3 hours, though, so give me a break. So multiple times would be X for me, which is no surprise as the horror guy. Patrick Sherwood will know. I got the sign here to prove it. Shout out to Patrick Sherwood. Which one I'm going to watch next? That's actually a great question. Which one of these would I watch next? I'm not going to go with the criteria of like what I would pick right this second. I'll say the one that I will most likely watch next would probably be it would probably be like the Batman, maybe, because Logan hasn't seen that yet, and I would like to show him that one. So probably the Batman would be the one I would watch next. What do you guys think of this lineup, by the way, for Best Picture here at the Golden Peas? I will tell you, Yanni had a good point. I'm not going to show you guys the poll, the results this time, because we're coming up on the end of voting. Voting ends on the 13th of February. So you have like a little over a week to get your votes in. So make sure you get those in and cast your ballots, because we'll be announcing the winners on March 13th after I have a chance to tally them up and send them out. And we'll announce it. Me and Brian Loisauce are going to announce it. Let's see. Yes, the sign is here. Patrick sent me this a couple years ago. I'm assuming as a joke, and I put it on my wall because, yeah, I'm going to fucking own that. I am the horror guy. And it means a lot to me that he sent that to me, and it's going to be here. Anytime I'm on camera, you'll see that in the background, Patrick, whether we're talking horror or whatever. What I wanted to say let's see what we got here. He said, not a joke. Good, because I freaking love it, bro. I made a sticker. Patrick, go back to that real quick. I made the sticker. I know you guys can't see it. Can you see it here? It says I'm a horror guy. And I did that on my merch site along with the t-shirt as well. And you kind of inspired that. And It means a lot to me, man. Let's see. What's concerning RRR? Just because it's long doesn't mean it doesn't deserve another go. That's what she said. I know what you mean. You're right. You're right. And some of these movies I'm gonna rewatch with other people. Like my wife hasn't seen this, so if I watch it again, I'll be like, "Hey, you want to watch this crazy fucking action musical, or however you would describe it?" And we'll give it a go. So you're right there. Um, I think the lineup for best movie is strong. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I did cast a ballot when I initially came up with the ballot, Jared, and I think I voted. What did I vote for? I don't even remember I think I voted for Everything Everywhere, maybe. I think of these 10, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Of these 10, Everything Everywhere is the best movie, I think. My personal favorite is a toss up between Prey and X. That's me personally. So those are my three that are kind of like a juggling act right now. I don't know what you guys think, but that's kind of where I am. This slideshow that I had, by the way, was when we did our nomination announcement. So I don't have any other like breakdown of the categories or whatever, but here, let's see. So this is best male. I think Kiki Kwan's probably got that, even though it's supporting, just so popular. It really is. For the Oscar, it's weird because he's going to win best supporting. But then you'll probably have Colin Farrell or maybe even Brendan Fraser winning best lead. So we'll see. Yeah, but I don't have a summary slide of anything except right here for best movie, just because the slideshow was for the nomination announcements. Yeah, 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 that's true. But it's, I don't know. Do you think it's a little violent, Yanni? I can't. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it has a rating on it actually, but no, I guess it would be okay, right? Like there's stylized violence, but I don't think it's anything worse than like the MCU films. So actually, you might be right there. Maybe I could get my wife to let Logan watch it with us too. That's actually a good point. By the way, they're bringing Titanic back to the theaters for the 25th anniversary, I think. And we're going. We are going, buddy. I want to see Titanic on the big screen. Logan's pumped. It's actually next weekend that they're releasing it for like 1 week only. You can go see Titanic in restored in 4K on the big screen for the 25th anniversary. So we're doing that, by the way. So Kate Winslet, watch out. We're coming for you. Everything Everywhere's got his vote. All right. Top Gun Maverick would be your second choice. Not bad. I mean, just such a good nostalgic flick in Top Gun Maverick. I mean, it really brings back the nostalgia feels, but it kind of stands on its own too. It doesn't need the 80s movie to keep it going. So I agree with you. Great pick there. Let's see. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. We're coming up. We got about 5 minutes or so left. And then I'll wrap up. I just want to make sure that we promote. Let me take this off. I just want to make sure we promote the Golden Peas. So if you guys could do me a favor, anybody watching this, even if it's not on the live stream and you come in later, share the event for me. Help me out. They can vote at 2peasonapod.com/golden peas. All right. There's categories for best male performance, best female performance, best action, best animated, best comedy, best horror, and of course, best movie overall. Those are the 7 categories this year. The stream for the award ceremony will be on YouTube on March 13th. Me and Brian Loisauce will be doing that. I want to let you guys know too, JC doing anything to beat himself. Remind me what we're talking about there, Yanni. And then I'm laughing. Patrick says cats didn't make the cut this year. Oof. Cats had a time. Yeah, I didn't mind cats. You guys know that. You gave me shit about that. I got let me show you guys this real quick. Find it. Can I find it? Yeah, here they are. So I have these. So we have obviously 7 presenters, right, for the Golden Peas to give away the awards, to announce the winners. Logan, by the way, my son, is announcing Best Animated winner. But I've got these cool, let me show you. I got them from Amazon. But they're these cool envelopes. You see that there? So it's the envelope. It has a sticker that you can like seal it or whatever. And I'm going to put the winners in there. So it's going to be, you know, whatever category. Best animated, best action, whatever. And I'm going to send this envelope sealed with the sticker here to the presenter. So when they present the award, they'll be able to say, and you know, the winner for best female performance is, and they'll take the fucking card out, and the only person that knows what's in this envelope at the time that it gets mailed out is most likely going to be my wife. I'm going to have her kind of on the back end, you know, write the cards out, and I'll address the envelopes. So our 7 presenters, if you're watching or when you watch, you're going to be getting one of these by the end of February, probably early March, with the winner on your category, and you'll be able to open them on camera, which I think will be cool. What do you guys think about that? That's cool, right? I'm having fun with it. We'll see. Better than the Oscar? Yeah, sure. What is your secret for having a magnificent beard? Jared, that means a lot, man. Thank you. I don't shave. Literally, yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, in fairness, what I'll say is when it got to a certain like bushiness, I did buy beard oil. So I have this beard oil that once or twice a week I'll put in and then brush it. Not every day, mind you, because who has time for that? But I did because it was getting a little like this, and I had to kind of like bring it down a little bit. So the beard oil, what's the brand name? I can't remember the brand name that it is, but I can hit you up on Facebook for it or Twitter. But it's anyway, it's beard oil, and you just put it in, you kind of brush it in, and I do that like once or twice a week to kind of keep it, you know, tame. But thank you. I don't know. I've been considering actually trimming it. I don't know. My wife's not a huge fan of it, and I've had one female in a year compliment me on the beard. I don't know. I feel like that's telling. I don't know. But I don't have any on my head, as you guys know. I'm bald for the most part, so I do what I can, you know, where I can. Let's see. James Cameron with Titanic back in theaters. That's accurate. Hashtag sexy in reference to Kate Winslet or my beard, or what are we talking about there? And next year you want in on presenting. Sure would. No problem at all, man. Let me know. Our boy Justin from Brain Stew is going to be presenting best horror movie this year. Next year, man. Grab it. Let's do it. I mean, you're a horror guy just like I am, so that would be awesome. Let's see if I can remember the presenters. So obviously Logan for best animated. Let me count them out here. Best movie is going to be my buddy Matt from Next Best Picture. Let's see. Best action is going to be Imran from Jock and Nerd. He's a great dude. If you guys love superhero movies or comic books or anything like that, check out Jock and Nerd. Great podcast. Best comedy is going to be Brad, our buddy Brad from the Cinema Guys, which, by the way, I'm offended that he's not here right now. But Brad will be doing best comedy movie this year. Did I mention Logan already? Logan's animated. Did I mention him? Help me out. I can't remember. Best female is Emily Higgins from Tasteless Pod. Best male performance. I don't remember who's doing best male performance. I can't remember for some reason. I think that's it. If I could just remember who's doing best male, then you would have everybody, but I can't remember who it was. But anyway, so 2peasonapod.com/goldenpeas. Head over there, cast your ballot, spread the word, help me spread the word. It's like the Oscars, but it's me in my garage. So if you would ever want to tune into the Academy Awards, but have it be a dude in a beanie in his garage, then that's what the Golden Peas are. And we've got a lot of great presenters, and you guys help come up with those ballots. It's going to be a big deal. I'm going to put a lot of effort in on the front end to work on the editing and producing and getting the word out. So I'm doing a lot of it on my end to spread the word. My buddy Dan, who you guys know well from Netflix and Swill, is actually helping me produce the regular show, the podcast, so that I can get through this Golden Peas era and kind of come out on the other side and be back to normal. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So hopefully you guys tune in for it, you enjoy it, and make sure you spread the word for it. Yanni said Brad is still watching BVS. You might be right. Make sure you guys give Brad and Dan, frankly, shit for not tuning in tonight. At least Drew showed up for 5 minutes. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to give a quick stream. I want to talk about Knock at the Cabin. Let you guys know to go see it this weekend. It's a great flick. If you love Shyamalan, if you love thrillers, I think it's definitely worth a watch. And I think it would be it's a good thing to go out to the theater for. It was a good experience. It's quick too. It's like 100 minutes. It's like in and out. So it's a very quick, fun watch, Knock at the Cabin. And then I want to talk a little bit about the Golden Peas and remind you guys about that and get you pumped up for it. So make sure you guys head over and vote and check it out and share it for me. That's basically it, guys. I'm going to get out of here if I don't have any last second comments. You guys are the best for tuning in. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. And if you're seeing this later, look down below in the comments and make sure you head over to the Golden Peas site and cast your ballot. You guys are the best. I love you. I'll see you next time in the garage.